In our community, a star is not born, they are made. You have to put in effort to make a star. um, I'm hoping that through this video, I'm not trying to share how I helped make a star, but I'm hoping that people will see that there is a process, and the effort that the community as a whole needs to put in is much greater than just create circumstances. Just creating circumstances, just offering an opportunity, just knowing of an opportunity and throwing it over the wall and hoping that somebody from the community will pick it and benefit from it is not what's going to happen with our community. You have to identify the opportunity, explain to the community why it is a good opportunity, coach them through the opportunity, especially if it's in a field which is not usually our community is used to, which pretty much means academic. If it is purely academic in terms of achieving degrees, then you don't really have to tell anything to the community. We have kind of got through that as a process, or we know, but but there's no creativity or imagination in there. It's just a degree earning process which works for us because of reservations. But if it is a field which is beyond academic, a new field for sure, you really need to support the community members in seeing that as an opportunity, coach them through that opportunity, mentor them, handhold them, and even sometimes cajole them and actually help them get over their what's that psychological term? Get over their imposter syndrome. Even when the whole world can see that they are the exact fit that for that, they still need to be coached and cajoled to get out of their imposter syndrome. Okay, what do I have as an example in this case? The example in this case is the movie Origin. I'll give you a little background and then get to the point as to how a star has been made. So, after Ava DuVernay and her team went around and tried to cast somebody for the role of Dr. Ambedkar on their own, which itself is a wrong step, I think, because they should have known, or maybe there was no way for them to know that there would not be anybody from our community in Hollywood. They faced trouble in finding somebody from our community to play Dr. Ambedkar, and instead of coming directly to the community, and I'm surprised that some of our other community members who were already part of that project didn't tell them to not even worry about going through existing casting process in Hollywood, managers and all that, because we're not there in Hollywood. Frankly speaking, I might be the only one who has even attempted. I've not been successful there yet, but I have attempted it. So that's about the inroads we have made. I know a few things at like a very base level, low level Hollywood stuff, so that might be it. But anywho, after struggling and not finding somebody, and many of the Savarnas trying to hog that role, eventually Ava DuVernay's team reached out to some of the Ambedkar communities here, and that was through like a simple PDF, which many of you must have seen because I posted it on Instagram, and also through other channels, not that I'm the only source through which you get information. They posted that little PDF saying, looking for a community member to play Dr. Ambedkar. And for our community who are not used to Hollywood, they were like, I don't know, maybe they'll find some actor, or maybe they'll find nobody, but at least it's not me, is how people were thinking. Not recognizing that the most important part of that whole audition casting breakdown was a member from the community. Like, they were not asking for acting skills. They were not asking for proficiency in acting, a certain level of A-class actor, B-class actor, experience in acting, whether it be theater or whatnot. They were very focused on, can we find somebody from the community who somehow, somewhat resembles Dr. Ambedkar, and we can then take it over from there. There is makeup, there is acting coaching they can provide. They can coach, mentor, and also come to see the whole movie. It's not even a speaking role, so as long as you can pose, look like, and costume designing can do a lot, which is what eventually happened. They had a chance. But our community was not able to put the two and two together, and I had to actually step in and explain to the community why it was even a valuable opportunity, why we had to take it, because we don't want to miss the opportunity and then be told that, well, we gave you an opportunity, but nobody from the community took it. And then future doors don't get open. When the door is open, we need to walk in And even wrong people can walk in to at least show that there is enough interest, which is where I actually hosted a few Zoom sessions to just explain why it was important that our community take advantage of this. And at least 10 people posted, including I did myself, recognizing that I don't resemble Dr. Ambedkar in any way. But you know what? We needed to show that we were interested. And as part of hosting these Zoom sessions and bringing our community around to apply, I also recognized and reached out to a few individuals directly, and one of them was Professor Gaurav Patania, and and then I helped him understand why he should apply for it. And he had these initial hesitations of, well, I'm a professor, I'm an academician, I teach people, I don't act, I never stood in front of a camera. And I'm like, well, this is going to be a long process. So I had to sit him down and explain in detail that the first thing they're looking again is a member from the community. That is their baseline. You fit there. Then you resemble a little bit. You have your hair and everything. I can see you. Pretty much I was playing the role of the casting director, a coach for him, an agent for him, and a manager for him. Some part of that I helped through that process has come around, but it has almost come across like, well, I called and said, hey, you should apply, like as if it was just that. But no, going back to that, my point of stars have to be made in our community. Just because you said, hey, go apply for this, our community doesn't pick it up and go, because we are a community who doesn't see ourselves as we are very reverent. If we don't fit and check every single box and check it at A+ level, we don't actually attempt it because we are afraid. And that's what the world has taught us. As a community, we are worthless. We don't belong somewhere. So especially in tangential and offshoot verticals like acting and everything, if you don't really have that expertise and have done work, you wouldn't apply. So it was not just a mere posting of a message and saying, hey, yeah, you should apply, and then everything working. No, there was coaching, there was mentoring, and then there was subsequent talks directly with Gaurav, but also with other members who were at that time applying, because we didn't know who they would pick, auditioning, I mean. And explaining to them what an audition means, what is the side, what does those lines mean, and what does that explanation mean, to the extent that even suggesting people, like, if you look a certain way in your first audition, make sure you look the same way in your next audition. Don't look with long hair and everything looks like Dr. Ambedkar, and suddenly by your next audition go get a trim haircut with like a fade on the side and hair pulled back or a hair top. No, you have been picked, and if somebody's asking you to come back to a second callback, which is what you call in an audition, when you are being called back, you look the same way that you looked in the first time. And then also, this whole process is nobody's hopefully testing you for your acting chops, because that's not what they've posted in the casting. Hopefully you resemble, you talk like Dr. Ambedkar, you present yourself like an academic, a scholar and stuff. And that's where I think after a couple of auditions with different people, I clearly saw that they were going to hone in on Gaurav. And at which point the coaching and the mentoring and the talks became much more very specific to Gaurav and me, and his questions to me and my questions back to him. So, and then also once they did select him, there was still more coaching, like they were asking Gaurav to do X, Y, and Z, and I had to explain to Gaurav how it works on a set and what they mean by those things when they ask him for dates or whatnot. And also some coaching around, just because they were asking dates, and Ava DuVernay is a big name and Array Productions is a big name, doesn't mean we then change everything on our end. I still help Gaurav state that, well, you may want all of these, but these are my boundaries. I am not available in December. Just because you have your dates in December doesn't mean I drop my life, my work, my trips to India and do that. So I could help him also understand that, yeah, you're now on their team. You can also present what dates you're available and everything. But suffice to say that it was not just a mere, here's an opportunity, share it with different Ambedkar groups and hope that somebody picks it. Especially when there are opportunities which are not in a field that we are already used to, you really, really need to strive for your community and help them, especially when you see it as an opportunity and know how to help them move forward. You have to do that. And many of our community members don't do that for some reason. Those who have achieved some level of success, like for example, I had somebody saying, "Oh yeah, we need a scholar for doing so and this and that, and can you just post this in WhatsApp groups?" And I'm like, what good does it do? I post it in WhatsApp groups. If somebody does ask me what that is about, I don't know. And you, this is a third person who is requesting me to post. First thing is, you should have been in all these Ambedkar groups. You seem like you want to be an untouchable for untouchables, so you are not even in those Ambedkar groups. You're a rock star life for one. Then the other thing is, if you know how to get there, what sort of time commitment are you going to give? Will you, once some people are interested, will you take some times out of your Saturday afternoons, weekends to coach these people, mentor these people, review their submissions and help them put that in? And then once they get shortlisted, will you then further help them improve or whatnot? If you're not doing all that and you think that your job is done by just throwing in an application and saying, "Hey, here, I found an opportunity, our community should apply," as if it's not, that's where your commitment to the community ends, then I'm sorry to say that you're not really doing anything for the community. Such a message can as well be shared by a white person, a white professor, even a Savarna guy can do that, saying, "Hey, I'm very supportive of Ambedkar community. Here is an opportunity. Go take it if you can." That's not who we are. Our community is not in a position where just by creating the circumstances, we can evolve, we can take them, and we can achieve them. No, we are a community who have been devoid of a personality. That's what Dr. Ambedkar says in his speech, in his essay, Slavery versus Untouchability. Slaves still have a personality. Black people in US still have a personality. So they can always rely on that. Society affords them a personality. So they can take opportunities and have had enough success in the past through other Black community members or others, that they see that they can take an opportunity. But our community is not geared for that. Self-doubt is very, very much present in our community. So if you come with an opportunity, come also with the framework and infrastructure to help our community embrace that opportunity, see value in it, help them through the process, and help them get on the other side. If not, you're not really doing much for the community. You're just thinking that throwing a random flyer saying, "Hey, here's an opportunity, take it if you can," and putting it on the community is not doing your job for the community. So do better is what I'm going to say. And again, I'm going to say, in our community, stars are not born. Just because you create circumstances doesn't mean a star evolves out of it. You have to actually make them. You have to actually put through the whole effort. It's like a recipe. You have to cook, you have to put them in the freezer, then take them out, they let them marinate, then bring them out, then add this and that, then tell them they are the best out of best, and then help them go through and make the whole process. So hopefully, again, I'm not trying to share here through this video how much I have done in helping a community member actually get, in this case Gaurav, get that role of playing Dr. Ambedkar in Origin. That's not my point. But I'm trying to share that if you don't do that much effort, you're not actually going to help community pick up opportunities. It's just going to be a waste of time and your contribution in just sharing an opportunity but not actually helping the community see through and get that opportunity is not really valuable for the community. So let's do better, okay? And this goes to all of our community members who are sitting in some good spots up top and don't actually help the community wholeheartedly. And also, if they even help, they help a few chosen few, which are like cliques and mostly your fan clubs. That also doesn't really, you need to. If you are a community member who is sitting in a high position, you need to have proper open channels which anybody can use to access you. If you're not doing that for fear of people taking advantage of you, then, well, learn how to set boundaries then that's a whole different problem. But if you're using a nobody can approach me but a select few approach, then you're actually creating a little bit of a clique and almost a fan club. So don't do that either. Have your channels, even if they're strict channels, that's fine, but have open channels with proper criteria, which is simple and which is easily understandable by everybody if they need to reach out to you. Otherwise, again, you are just becoming a rock star in our community, and you are becoming an untouchable in the US pop culture way. You are becoming an untouchable to our untouchables, and that's not helping. You're going to be a lone star up there, and you're not helping community in any way. So anywho, again, long spiel. I know I go off on tangents, but I thought this was very important to share um, to our community members so that they know how to really help community and help community members become stars. And that's how you also become a star. When you make other stars, you rise up. So there is always a um, helping community only helps everyone. So anyways, post this on Instagram, and if any of you have any thoughts, let me know. DM me if you want to, or comment on that post, and I'll put this up on Instagram for all of you to listen and enjoy. Okay, thanks. Bye.